This program brought to you by Racing Victoria, Off the Track Thoroughbreds, Horseware Australia, Bates Saddles, and Wallinga Park Equestrian Centre.
Last time on Jump Off, our 5 teams of riders had taken their teams of retired thoroughbreds to the Aquis Championships at Elysian Fields.
The first horse on course, two-time Australian show jumping champion David Cameron, and he's riding Riot Man.
The idea is to give their horses a big show experience. Today they'll jump off in the main arena and will be competing for a major cash prize.
I've got Bolivar. He was spooking like crazy at the screen over the back. I don't know what the hell he's going to do when he gets in here.
It's going to be a bit of an experience for all these horses because they've never seen anything like this before. So it's not the size of the fences at the moment, it's just going to be the whole atmosphere.
A little bit of spook's not a bad thing because it makes them a little bit more careful and they tend to jump up in the air a bit more.
I don't think the jumps are going to be the problem. The jumps they're not that exciting, they're not that big, but I think it's more everything else around the place. The hill with the crowd on it, I think that's more going to be the challenge.
Well, it can't get too much bigger than this for these horses.
How do we start, Dave?
After watching each other's horses for a couple of days, who's got the gold?
I think Dave Cameron, I like his horses. He's got 2 really nice ones. He's got the 4-year-old. It jumps really nice. It's nice and quiet. It makes a good shape. Pete Big Man's horse, it's a really nice looking horse and it's going to jump good. I'm not sure how it'll go today, but I think by the final that'll be really competitive. I haven't seen too much of Vicky's or too much of Russ, but we'll see what happens.
85.97, Russell Johnson.
And don't forget, this is a precursor for the Jump Off Grand Final, which will be held at Bonio Park for $100,000.
Team Price will lose a little bit of time there.
Yeah, it is a bit of a big moment. It's sort of getting closer to the end result, so it's about time they step up a little bit.
Hi there, I'm Hamish McLaughlin and welcome to Jump Off. Now, our 5 teams of trainers and show jumping riders have officially started a second career for our Jump Off retired racehorses. They've all been in training, so we're going to join Jamie Winning, who's Jamie Kermon's wife, and whilst her husband has been overseas representing Australia, she and her team at Yandu have been training these horses. So she's riding Paddy Payne's Raposo.
So Jamie Kermon, boy Jamie, has been over in Europe for the last couple of months preparing for the World Cup final. So his wife, Jamie Girl, has been training the horses for him while he's been away, and when he came home he said it's only fair for his wife to ride one of them. She's done most of the work. So they're a team, so we'll see how we go now.
Of course, Jim, not to be underdone as a rider, she herself has been a World Cup rider, represented Australia on numerous occasions and runs really the brains, the bones and the brawn for the team at Yandu.
Roland today, he wasn't too bad, but for the last few weeks we've really been working on it. I told the guys to work on it while I was away, just to get the horse fitter and stronger was the main sort of challenges.
It's interesting, Michelle, these horses sometimes just getting a little tired as the course went on. That's what happened, I think, to Johnny English and Pete a little bit earlier.
Yeah, and he's one of the greener ones, but Jamie's doing a fantastic job.
And a nice little turn inside here. Sneaky, I hope Pete is watching.
She's trying to keep him really balanced so he concentrates and looks at the top rail, and we'll see if he stays safe here. Just let him roll down to it probably a little bit too much.
84.70, 84.70. The one rail down, 4 jumping penalties, no time penalties.
He handled that better than some of my warm bloods, so can't ask for much more. Extra hay for Roland tonight, I think. Extra hay.
Team Kerman Payne on 4 faults. The last rail came down. Remember, the top 5 rider-horse combinations today will go through to the jump-off worth $5,000.
Neutronic from David Cameron, the combination out into the arena. Neutronic has come from the Mick Price stables, and his wife Carolina Price has been instrumental in the selection process for Dave's horses. To make today's jump off at Elysian Fields, all Dave needs to do is jump clear. Neutronic is a very easygoing 7-year-old gelding who was trialled but never made the racetrack. Whilst he might not have the sharpest technique, he's proving a very balanced and rideable jumper. Well, luckily for Dave, his first horse, Sunny, has already qualified. So Dave Cameron is carrying the 4 jumping penalties, but don't underestimate this man at the final as he jumps to the last.
He just had one down, unfortunately. That's the only rail he's had down all show, so he picked a bad time to have it, but today is really not about winning today. He was really relaxed out there, carrying it around. You know, he's pretty straightforward, this guy. He's got a real good brain, he's been real trainable, and he knows what his job is in the ring now. Just would have been nice if he just jumped clean, but anyway, that's show jumping. Sometimes you knock him down.
Well, next out into the arena, we welcome the queen of show jumping herself, Vicky Roycroft, and she's riding in a circle. Now, this is a cute little horse from Godolphin. He'd done absolutely nothing when Vicky got him, and she's put a lot of work into him. When these horses arrived at Vicky's place, she watched them all come off the truck and stood there and a really good look at them. This one caught her eye for a type that she really likes.
And it's a type that you would like when he came off the truck. You know, it's very similar to the racing when you look at yearlings. Not every trainer is on the same horse. They've had their own luck with a line of breed or their type that they like. And I suppose that's what makes this sport. We all have our own little inner secrecies that you just like about this horse. And like with Vicky, I think he's just I just think he's a darling. Out the back he is just a sweetheart.
And of course, they're only going to get miles here today. They're only going to get better with having that bit of time under their belt.
Yeah, that's it. This is good mileage today. You know, to be exposed in this main arena, they've been out the back, the gear is a little bit more simple. You know, I'm a thoroughbred person through and through, so I love the animal. They don't need rehearsal. You have to do rehearsals with the warm bloods every day. These ones, once it's cemented, they've got it.
4 jumping penalties, 79.99 the time taken.
It's been the story of my show. I've had one rail down on every horse I've jumped on nearly every round, no matter if it's 90 centimetres or $1.50 meters. Didn't react to the atmosphere, which was wonderful. And he's a real dude, this horse. He coped very well.
After the break, things are starting to get serious in this competition.
He could easily win the day, I think.
But Team Kermon Payne are keeping it real.
I was pretty happy with that.
Behind every great man, there's a massive team that makes him look really good.
Vicky Roycroft has been with us for around 8 years now. We've been looking after her feed.
What do you guys think I should be feeding these ex-race horses? The response is what I normally do.
Oh, the easy response is a great extruded cube. It's a feed that's fully cooked, so it's very digestible. It's a very cool feed. There's great oil seeds, legumes, and a few grains in there as well.
I've been very happy with it. Good feed.
We're at the Aquas Championships at Elysian Fields, a weekend where competitors get the chance to run their horses through a real competition in the lead-up to the $100,000 final at Bonio Park. Out on course is Pete McMahon on his second horse, Woody, who's starting to show some real promise. And Michelle McMahon is very happy.
He's our favourite, even though the grey horse has a really good technique, but he's our favourite.
He looks really honest over a fence there, and over fence number 4, he just looked at the water tray and really tucked up in front.
He could easily win the day, I think. This horse looks pretty good, and he's been starting into big classes all show, so I know in the jump off it won't mind jumping a bit bigger.
Yeah, that's true. The owners have been fantastic with Woody. He was a very good horse to them, and in his retirement, they made sure 1000% he was perfectly sound. They sent him to the vets. They did a scintigraphy on him where they scanned his whole body, make sure there was no heat spots, to make sure that when he went to the paddock, he had no aches or pains anywhere, and he was 100% perfectly sound. So I thought it was really, really nice, Jess, that they knew in their minds he was going to the paddock with no arthritic changes and aching every day with no treatment.
He's safely over the last. That's a clear round. 80.02. No jumping penalties, no time penalties, and all clear.
Clear round.
80.02. No jumping penalties.
The way it is, everyone tried to ride the better horse last, so it should be more cleans as we get through.
As it goes on.
With Pete having a clear round, all of a sudden this competition is alive.
I'm spending a bit of time in the warm-up then. I think he's just trying to fine-tune everything. Jamie Kermon straight back in the World Cup final.
Out on course, Russell Johnston was having a good run. That was until fence 4.
One down.
Equal.
Russell Johnson comes down to the final fence. And he's safely over the last. So only the 4 faults for Russell Johnson.
Just had to have one, didn't he? Just had to have one. Put in some really good jumps, and then he just had to have an average one. It's like, nah. We can't do 10 good days' work, we'll only do 9.
At least it didn't kill Russell's sense of humour. Out on course is Jamie Kermond, and he's in the zone. Jamie's chasing Pete McMahon, the only rider to jump clear. But there might be some friendly competition a little closer to home.
I know there's a competition amongst all us riders, but there is a competition between you and your husband?
No, it's not a competition. I just hope it goes well, because if it doesn't, geez, I'm going to hear about it. Well, he told me I was riding this one, so I did all the work on this one, and then we got here and he...
Actually, that one's going pretty good. I think I'll take your one.
Jamie Kermond, his first ride this weekend in the main arena.
Come on, easy. Oh, we're discombobulated.
This is Michelle Payne's horse. She's already done a little bit of work with him before they arrived at Yandu Park.
Jamie's clear with just a fence to go.
To Kermo's team
Jesus.
behind the scenes. Dwayne, to Todd, to Josh. Of course, Kermo has been in Europe and he's had a team of people behind the scenes riding those horses.
Puffed out. Well done, Kermit.
You're welcome.
There's a little bit more fired up than he's been. I think it's a bit more open spaces down here and a bit more atmosphere. But he still jumped well. He looked at the jumps and tried to jump them more clean. Got a little bit out of shape towards the end, but he's a kind of horse that he does want to leave the jumps up. So yeah, I was pretty happy with that.
Behind every great man, there's a massive team that makes him look really good.
All the horses and riders have performed really well, and now it's time for a jump-off. A dress rehearsal for the $100,000 grand final at Bonio Park Equestrian Centre.
So the top 5 get to go again. It was 10 horses originally. The top 5 get to go into the jump-off. So basically it's a shortened course, 1 to 6, and the fastest and person who leaves all the rails up wins. So that's what we're doing. So it's a bit of fun now. So yeah, looking forward to opening up these thoroughbreds. They're supposed to be pretty fast. So fingers crossed that helps us in this jump-off.
What number you go, Dave?
Mate, I'm first out. Setting the standard, mate. Just, you can chase me.
Best of luck to you, David.
You were just looking at it for like 5 minutes, like doing your curve.
Thank you, JB.
He gave it to me. Dave, that's how good we think you are. You don't need him.
Dave Strapper relays a bit of his own teaching.
Make good choices.
Make good choices.
All jokes aside, and now it's down to business.
David Cameron and Riot Man. Fences 1 to 6. He's going to go against the clock here. Can get the inside turn here to fence number 3. This is up over a metre, this fence here. Nicely over that, Laggy.
Yeah, a little spook at number 3 there.
Wow, he jumped 1 and 2 so quick.
Inside turn, nicely over 4. 2 fences left to go. He's all clear at this stage. David Cameron, Riot Man. He gets the form spun out. Oh no! Sport needs drama. David Cameron couldn't get in there. Over the last, through the finish. 40.00, 40.00.
For Dave Cameron and the team, it was a great round except for the second last jump.
He just had to turn back towards the crowd and he sort of didn't love the crowd so much, but this is called jump off. You know, they're going to have to jump off in the final, so you've got to learn somewhere.
Though he'd had a rail down, Dave's round was still one to chase.
The next horse out is Mr. Apostrophe and Russell Johnson. The first fence down. so now he needs to be quicker than 40.00. Oh no! He can't afford another rail down. Mr. Apostrophe from the Lindsay Park team is owned by Rochelle Adams. He's a recent addition to Team Johnson Hayes, and this is their first outing together. Carrying the 8. Another rail down, and Russell and Mr. Apostrophe now on the 12 faults. He rolls on down and safely over the final fence. 38.59, 38.59. 12 jumping penalties for Mr. Apostrophe.
Whilst Vicky made her way out, for Russell Johnston, it's all a learning experience.
Oh, I knew that was on the cards, huh? We talked about that before, and I just let him get too deep. I've got to learn to keep this guy a lot further off the fences and help his back end a bit. We've got plenty of scope, we've got plenty of careful, but I was riding him like a show jumper. I need to ride him a bit more like a hurdler, I think.
As Vicky makes her way around the course, her strapper Guillermo watches on.
Vicky takes the long option around fence number 3. Looks good over that fence, Michelle.
Yeah, I thought she was going to sneak inside it. So I think it changed her either mind or heart at the last minute. I think she thought it was on and then maybe not. But this horse is a sweetie, so let's see what happens.
Well, bad luck there, coming down to the final jump. She's safely over the last 41.12.
So Guillermo's pretty happy with how the team has gone, but unfortunately, it's not enough to take the lead from Dave Cameron. After the break, the pressure takes its toll.
Useless.
And who will be our winner?
I actually grew up and learnt to ride in Russell's stables here, so it's a bit ironic that I'm back here 40 odd years later. We're going to introduce the new feed. Obviously we're going to do it slowly. It's about 750 grams per day. As you can see, high fibre, lightly molassed. It's a small amount of pellets in there. That's the Nutri-Bit pellet, so it's really easily digestible. If we give them those essential amino acids, good building blocks.
Combine that with a bit of extra work. And
yep, and they'll jump higher.
That's what we want to hear.
The Elysian Fields Aquas event has definitely given our teams lots of experience and an appreciation of the pressure they'll be under when they're jumping off at the grand final for $100,000. Right now in the last event for the weekend, Dave Cameron, Russell Johnston and Vicky Roycroft have all had their rounds. But still to come is Jamie Kermond and Pete McMahon, who's got a secret weapon. His wife, Michelle.
Hey Pete, do you want Michelle to talk you through what you need to do? Do you need a pep talk? How often do you actually listen?
Pretty much every time. It goes in one ear and out the other.
See, if he was a jockey, you wouldn't have him because he doesn't write to instructions.
He's won some of the biggest classes in the country. He's represented Australia at the Olympic level. What do you mean you wouldn't have him as a jockey? Peter McMahon next out into the arena. The horse's name, Gotta Take Care, around the stable's Woody. Trained by superstar race trainer Darren Weir, this horse was $1 million hurdler. Born and bred in Trangie in central New South Wales, he's trained with Dave Cameron when they were kids. Riding by Pete, riding clear with only a couple left. He looks for the inside turn.
There have been plenty of times Pete McMahon's had his competitors on the edge of their seats.
With one fence left to go, Peter has it all. And he's safely over the last, the time of 38.02. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Peter McMahon.
So, it's down to the last run. Real pressure for Team Kermond Payne.
Come on, easy.
Good job, Pete.
Final rider to go today, and to win the class, this is Peaceful Easy Feeling and Jamie Kermond. He needs to jump a clear round and go around quicker than that time of 38.02. That's the time taken by Gotta Take Care and Peter McMahon.
Let's be honest, this is not the first time we've been nervous for a 90 centimetre course.
The competition today is like the jumps weren't overly high, they were metre 10, but with like there was a lot of people watching, and we're very competitive people and we want to win, and the horses, that's the level they were at, and yeah, it was some tough competition.
Oh no!
Useless.
It's a nice big horse, this one, with a great temperament. You can see why Michelle Payne wanted to hide him in the back paddock. Another rail down. He comes down to the final fence carrying the 8 penalties. He stops the clock at 40.75. That's 40.75. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for our winner, Peter McMahon. Gotta Take Care, our only rider to jump a double clear round here this afternoon.
Look, this horse is just a beautiful horse on the ground. Just to do anything with him, he's just a real gentleman and gets on with the job.
Pete McMahon, very happy with Woody. And what about the rest of our teams?
Way better than I thought. Just got to learn to ride this guy a bit better in the jump off, that's all. Because I'm pretty confident to get him in the jump off, but we've got to leave him up when we get there. And the other fella, he's getting better. He's getting better. I'd like to get him in the jump off.
It's been a lot of fun. It's been good to get them out in an atmosphere, and look, I think that they all cope pretty well, so looking good for the final.
Like for a 4-year-old to come out and handle the atmosphere and everything was really good. Shame in the jump off, he just lost his footing around the turn and instead of going towards the crowd, didn't quite end up where we wanted to, but still, it's good to put a bit of pressure on Pete.
Yeah, he jumped okay. I'm happy enough with him. Should have him right for the final, I reckon.
So what a great first competition for these horses. And with only a few weeks to go until the big grand final, the pressure is on.
There was a couple of nice horses there. Particularly impressed with what Peter McMahon had. I mean, he had one in a higher class that was even jumping, I think, in the metre 10, which was way above what we were competing at. And the grey horse he had, it really popped over some fences with a really good technique. So yeah, it was a bit of a wake-up call that this is just not going to be an easy competition.
From the competition today and what I've seen of the horse, Gotta Take Care and Peter McMahon, I think they were going to red-hot favourite. Peter Michelle did such a great job producing these horses, so yeah, I think that's the one to watch.
So we've got a winner, Peter McMahon on Gotta Take Care. The $1 million hurdler moves to hot favourite for the $100,000 jump-off final. But in sport, and particularly in show jumping, you just never know what's around the corner. After the break, we go to Bonio Park, where the preparations for the jump-off final are in full swing.
Don, what are you expecting tonight?
These are thoroughbreds. Some of them have never raced, never done a preparation, have never jumped at night, so anything could happen.
So I've trained horses for 28 years and I've always had a horse transport business. We try to help with all these rehabilitation horses because me being a trainer, I sort of know how it all works. Obviously my tip for the jump off will be Vicky Roycroft because she's a local and I know James and look, he does a good job and I'm hoping that they win jump off.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Bonio Park for the final of Jump Off. Over the last 5 months, some of Australia's leading thoroughbred trainers and show jumpers have formed partnerships. They've had a look at over 40 thoroughbred horses, and tonight the final 10 compete right here for over $100,000. Welcome to the final of Jump Off. In the warm-up arena, our riders are giving us just a little taste. The sensational thoroughbreds they've prepared for tonight's final. And the crowd is loving it. And the best is still yet to come. It's been a wonderful journey so far for the horses and the trainers. Let's have a look at what we've seen in the last 5 months.
So what have we got here, girls?
It's a bit like an unveiling. It's pretty exciting.
Ah, good type. Maybe a little old to start jumping, but it's the type that I like.
I don't know a lot about this horse. Apparently he's been sitting in the paddock and hasn't been ridden since the racetrack.
He'll be a real guessing
very
game to see what he's like.
Oh, this is in a circle. Great name. Whoa, 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 whoa. Might be a little spooky.
This is peaceful, easy feeling. You'd know him well.
A lovely horse. Great on his feet. He's a big horse, but really sure-footed, and I think he's the type of horse that could make it.
Havana Cooler. And this is my favourite colour, liver chestnut. My best jumper ever was a thoroughbred.
I don't think he's been lunged much.
I don't think he's had much lunging, and I don't expect him to. Oh, he did the right thing. He got on the other side.
This is the star.
Can you ride this bike?
So Michelle's obviously done a bit with this one. She's done a good job.
We won't tell her that.
She can ride a good Melbourne Cup, and she can start a thoroughbred nicely in its jumping career.
There you go, she's got 2 claims to fame.
Extra 0. 100 starts, he'll either be worn out or he's made of the right stuff.
Extra 0 is one of my all-time favourites. He didn't get a break, did he? He went straight into it.
If we've got to compete at 110, we want to be jumping 120 at home.
Yes. Yeah.
The reason that they can all go on is because they've had a good start in life as horses, not just as racehorses that get used and finished up.
We've got the best of the best. I mean, we've got Olympians, we've got a couple of Australian champions. The competition is tough.
He owns this.
He gets Star of the Day. Give him a second chance, and now he can come back and do this.
Sweet
he's
horse.
a darling. Yeah, he deserves it.
You first look for a nice type, a nice big horse, and then something with a good brain that can sort of cope with the after racing, which most of them can now. And then just look for their jumping ability.
I might take this one home after the show. Well, Carol, if I was any of the other teams, I'd be starting to get a little nervous right now. Absolutely exactly what we've been looking for.
Finally, after 5 months, we're here at the final.
Yes, we are, and it's super exciting to be here. We're going to get to see these horses in their new career. Some of them excelled in racing, some didn't, but, you know, we're going to see how they are in the show jumping.
Well, that's the beauty of the concept, isn't it? Just because you haven't succeeded on the racetrack doesn't mean you can't have a great life post.
No, absolutely, and it's a fantastic thing for these horses because they get the opportunity to do things, be well looked after and trained, and as I say, horses in the sport are much loved and appreciated, so it's a great opportunity for them.
We're going to see 10 horses jump tonight, 11 obstacles to get over. What sort of height are we talking about?
We're looking at around about the $1.5 in height, and we've got spreads out there that have got width near around about $1.5 to $1.10 in width, so they have to jump the top rails front and back. Yep.
Okay, let's leave the arena for the moment and get to Kate Watts. She's in the stands with a very special guest.
Thanks very much, Haim. It is really building up out here, a big crowd. And I'm standing with Don Scott. You might know him as an AFL legend, but he has been a rider his whole life and is a lifelong as well show jumping competitor. And Don's going to be out here in the warm-up yard, speaking to all the riders, getting all the information that we need on the horses. And Don, what are you expecting tonight?
Well, I don't know what to expect, Kate, because these are thoroughbreds. Some of them have never raced, never done a preparation. They're a little highly strung, and they're coming in with lights. They're into an indoor arena. They've never jumped at night, so anything could happen.
Anything could certainly happen. Thanks very much, Don. And I'll also be speaking with all the connections of the riders and of the horses and the trainers themselves to see how the nerves are going throughout the night as well.
After the break, these fantastic horses get ready to jump off.
We've got Jamie Kermont and Michelle Payne, part of the Michelle and Paddy Payne team.
Before they jump tonight, all the horses will be introduced to the enthusiastic crowd, who are all happily suffering the cold.
It's actually good for them to go out there and have a little wander around the warm-up ring. It's good to get them more familiar with it.
First up, Peter McMahon and Darren Weir. Give it up for these guys, everybody. Team Weir McMahon. This one here, the grey, is called Agent. Look at the horse lovers showing a bit of respect, not spooking the horses. And Darren has got a horse called Gotta Take Care. Big round of applause for Darren, everybody, down the back there, because he's been at the races all day and flew back here to be part of this tonight, and we appreciate that. Okay, ladies and gents, put your hands together for David Cameron and Mr. Mick Price. These two horses here, Dave has been working tirelessly for the last few months, getting them up and ready. First one up the front, we've got Riot Man, and also got Neutronic. So straight after this, these horses will go get saddled. They'll come in the warm-up and we'll have our jump off. Up next, ladies and gents, we've got Jamie Kermon, and give it up for Michelle Payne, part of the Michelle and Paddy Payne team. So here we have a horse called Raposo, who's come on very, very well. Jamie Kermon has actually been overseas, competed in the World Cup. Obviously, Jamie is the Australian champion for the last 2 years. Did very, very well. Did Hong Kong first, and then he's heading back overseas very, very shortly. And down the back, we've got Michelle Payne, and this horse is a horse called Peaceful Easy Feeling. Once again, give it up for those guys, everybody. Jamie Kermon, Michelle and Paddy Payne. Up next, we have a legend of the sport. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Vicky Roycroft. This is Team Godolphin, everybody, and heading up the Godolphin stable is James Cummings. Everybody give it up for James Cummings and Vicky Roycroft. She's a legend, everybody. She puts in. Vic has just had a hip replacement, so if you're feeling a bit sore, well, have a look at this lady. She's out there doing it, and she's taken these horses to another level, which is awesome. James, being part of the Team Godolphin, really know how to look after horses. Their charter is to make sure they have a great life after racing. There you go, Magic Hurricane and Inner Circle. Give them a round of applause, everybody. Okay, our last team, we've got Russell Johnston, everybody. He's an Olympian, 1996 Atlanta Games. He is part of Team Hayes Johnston. And we've got Ben Hayes representing the Lindsay Park team. Now, David is overseas at the moment, but he's sent an adequate replacement, I feel. One horse there is called Bolivar. Give him a round of applause, everybody. Not too loud, but there you go. Show some appreciation, Bolivar. And the horse at the back that Ben is leading is a horse called Portier, named from the Sydney Portier. So you'll hear a lot more about these horses as we get into the jumping tonight. Another round of applause, everybody. Russell Johnston and Ben Hayes.
So there you go. All of our competitors and all of our teams. All that's left is to jump off. Wonderful horsemen and women here tonight at Bonio Park. Mick Price is one of them. He's one of the trainers, and I caught up with him a few moments ago. Well, Mick, it's been a long 5 months. Finally, we're here, the jump-off final. 2 horses, you and David Cameron. A bit to do tonight.
Yeah, sure. Look, it's very, very difficult to get the form guide out and, do all this, but I know my 2 Neutronic's fairly good at it, and Riot Man still probably got his L plates on. I think Neutronic is probably a little bit more experienced, but, if he doesn't win, it'll be because of the ride.
Dave Cameron.
That's it.
Well, good luck tonight.
Thanks a lot.
Let's get down to Don Scott. He's with our first rider, Peter McMahon.
Peter, first rider in. What do you think of the course?
Oh, look, I think it's a nice course. Obviously, there's a lot of fill in there, a lot of plants, a lot of things that the horses need to get used to when we sort of first trot them out there. But yeah, no, I think Shep has done a really good job for these thoroughbreds.
I'll let you go, mate. He looks a bit anxious. Good luck.
Peter McMahon has selected one of the best hurdlers to have raced in recent times. Gotta Take Care was a real crowd pleaser. A never-say-die attitude earning him 20 wins, including 9 over the jumps, where the majority of his $1 million prize money was earned. Prepared by Victoria's leading trainer Darren Weir, the sure-footed Gotta Take Care won flat races at Flemington and Moonee Valley, but was best remembered for his jumping prowess, which included 3 straight featured Dressler hurdles at Bendigo.
Peter's no stranger to tough horses. This will be a really good exhibition of riding on Peter's behalf. Very simple show jumping if you're watching. Fences are all set at a certain height. The horses must jump the fences clean. They don't get judged whether they jump too high or too low. If their fence falls down, they'll get 4 faults. Every fence that comes down, they'll get 4 faults. If for some reason they have a little bit of a hiccup and decide to not like the look of the fence and turn off it, they'll get 4 faults for a refusal. They're allowed 3 refusals before they're eliminated. The name of the game, jump clean, go within the time, because the course is measured at 450 metres and they're riding at 350 metres a minute. Go over the time, they will get time faults. So they've got to be aware of not only jumping clean, but keeping within the time.
Okay, so far, Pete and Got to Take Care are doing a fantastic job. They're clear so far. No, speak too soon. That's 4 faults at the first element of the double and another 4 faults at fence 10. What a shame, that was a lovely round.
Yeah, I think the horse is just starting to get a little bit tired, but did a great exhibition. He'll come home with just the 2 fences down, and that'll be 8 faults. If they put their hands together, what a fantastic round.
What did you think of that performance, Darren?
Oh, it was a shame he knocked a couple over. He looked to be jumping quite well. He looked to be loving it, but unfortunately he got to go clear. So have to watch and see what the rest of the horses do now.
What's it like to see him out here in his second career as a show jumper?
Oh, it's such a good feel-good feeling, like to see him out there looking amazing, ears pricked. He just loves it, and Pete rides him so lovely. You know, it's great.
After the break, the legendary Vicky Roycroft takes to the course.
He's very happy to be out here doing his new job. This is what this show's all about.
Racing Victoria have a bunch of retrainers. They take horses from off the track and educate them to a certain point and find homes for them so that they can go on to have a lovely career in doing something else other than racing.
We're really lucky. We've got nearly 70 acknowledged retrainers across the state, and they are extremely passionate horse people. And their role is to take the thoroughbred from its racing career and retrain it, having identified the animal's skills and traits, and retrain it for its next period of its life. And we're very lucky to have such a committed, skilled base of people who can do that.
The advantage of buying from a retrainer is because a lot of people haven't got the money to go and buy an educated horse and a fancy warm blood or purpose-bred horse. So the retrainers can actually put a few tools into the horse and a bit of education that it makes it easy for like a pony club kid or an adult rider to continue on with it instead of being straight off the racetrack where they've got no dressage education or jumping education. Yeah, so that's the benefit of having the retrainers start them.
Here comes Vicky Roycroft.
The Roycroft name is akin to show jumping royalty here in Australia. Vicky is a 3-time Olympian and a 2-time Australian show jumping champion. One of the great equestrian families, and Vicky is with Don Scott.
How are we going to go out there tonight?
Well, I really like this horse. I think this horse has got all the attributes of a very good horse. But it's pretty tough on them because he's never been indoors. I don't, you know, there's going to be a lot for him to look at, so we'll see.
Well, good luck, and may the gods be with you, Vicky.
Well, let's meet Inner Circle, a winner at Rosehill in 2015.
Vicky Roycroft is teaming up with the handsome chestnut Inner Circle, a former member of the global thoroughbred operation of Godolphin, who made an impressive start to his career. After being backed into a hot $1.70 favourite, he led all the way for an easy Rosehill victory. Inner Circle placed just once in 6 subsequent Sydney outings. He was sent to Melbourne in an attempt to revive his winning ways, but from 4 outings managed just a fading third at Warrnambool, which ended his career. He retired with 1 win and earnings of $62,000 from 11 racetrack appearances.
And of course, Vicky's going to give him the best of opportunities to get round. As she mentioned, this horse hasn't been in here. It's pretty spooky atmosphere. But Vicky is very, very experienced. She's been all over the world, as we mentioned earlier. She's been to 3 Olympics.
She's giving this horse an absolutely beautiful ride. He's got his ears pricked, he's looking relaxed, he's very happy to be out here doing his new job. This is what this show's all about.
How much it's finding a horse with the athleticism and finding one with the temperament?
Well, that's the holy grail.
I mean, we laugh, but it's something that we all strive to get, you know, and you've got to have a fair bit of carefulness with them.
Yeah, so it's got to be an interesting mix for a show jumper to be successful of bravery and carefulness. So they've got to be brave enough to want to tackle the jumps, but then they've got to have that little bit of carefulness as well, so that they're not going to want to knock the jumps down. And that mixture, and getting that mixture just right, is what it's all about.
And there you go. What a fantastic exhibition of show jumping.
Round.
Absolutely. Yeah, well done, Vicky.
Fantastic. Absolutely outstanding. We'll have a look at a couple of the replays, but you talk about having a horse that wants to jump. Inner Circle is one of those.
Yeah, this is definitely a horse that is enjoying his new life after racing as a show jumper.
Well, fantastic. One man that's going to be very, very happy is James Cummings, and James is with Kate.
Thanks, Haim. I'm here with Team Godolphin, and I have to speak to the head trainer, James Cummings. James, you must have been impressed with that performance.
Yeah, Vicky's got him going pretty good there. He was enjoying it, and good to see a little fist pump from her after the final jump.
Bodes well. Do you think Team Godolphin can take this one out?
Oh, look, it was a flawless effort there, but I saw the horse up at the farm there, and she's just had him going good for a fair while now, so that's good to see that he's not only enjoying it, but he's pretty capable.
It's hard to know what to expect out there, but the horse coped really well. But he's improved and improved. Yeah, couldn't be happier with him.
So there you have it. So far we've seen two fantastic riders. Peter McMahon on Gotta Take Care, or Woody, and the legendary Vicky Roycroft on Inner Circle. There's plenty more excitement still to come. Hope you can join us next week as the competition at Boneo Park really heats up. Who's going to win Jump Off and take home $100,000? Find out next week on Jump Off. I thought 7 stayed up. Oh. Next time on Jump Off, there are more horses still to come on a night full of drama.
Oh my God, that was lucky.
It's probably a big ass. Like, he's got the ability, he's just low on mileage. And
Get up.
Can I say he shit himself?
It's down to the wire in this Jump Off Grand Final.
That's sort of a new leader.